The Butcher's Dust Part 1, The Road to Sallow Farm. The desert don't remember much. That's what the old man at the gas station said, just before he topped off the radiator, and lit a cigarette with a match that hissed like it was afraid of the heat. Ain't nothing but dust and God's silence. You go too far, and you start hearing things that ought to be forgotten. Out that way, he'd said, pointing down a 2-lane highway barely holding together under the sun. Jack Mallory ignored the warning. He was 27, on the run from a failed marriage and a half-baked stint with the War Department. To forget Detroit, the whiskey, the bruises he didn't remember giving. Coyotes watched from the brush. Flies buzzed like static. Then, at the far edge of a bone-dry gulch, the farmhouse rose out of the dust 2 stories, slatted wood, a porch that sagged in the middle like it was tired of waiting. Next to it stood a rusting windmill and a smokehouse with its door ajar. He'd borrowed his cousin's truck, a clunky 39 Chevy with a cracked windshield. Ain't had a visitor in 3 moons. You lost, darling? And crooked at the base of a dirt path, Sallow farm produce and supper, and no rearview mirror, and drove west through Texas, where the sun bled the color out of everything. He told himself it was just to see the desert. By the 3rd day, he was low on gas, lower on water, and completely lost. Her eyes were pale and glassy, and when she smiled, Jack saw too many teeth. An old man at the head, wearing suspenders and a smile that didn't blink. 2 boys, twins maybe, with red mouths and dirt-black fingernails. Jack took a cautious bite. It was sweet, smoky. Strange. And a girl no older than 16, who stared at Jack like he'd crawled in through the window. The sun sank fast behind a band of jagged cliffs when he spotted the wooden sign, hand-carved. From inside the house, a dog barked once, then fell silent. The words seemed burned into the wood. Sallow meat, sallow salt, sallow blood. The road wound like a dying snake, overrun with sand and desert weeds. Jack pulled up beside an old truck missing its tires. The air smelled of dried meat and vinegar. He knocked. He thanked them and went to leave, but the truck wouldn't start, not even a cough. The battery was dead. The woman who answered had a face like dried fruit and wore a gingham apron that hadn't been washed in a month. Jack laid his coat across a pile of hay and shut his eyes. "Well, I'll be," she said. The woman stood at the stove, humming an off-key lullaby. "Truck's low," Jack said, "looking for gas or a phone." She laughed. "No phones out here, but you can come in for supper. We always got enough for a plate. I imagine. The desert'll do that to a man." Something in her voice curled behind the ears, but Jack was too tired to be cautious. He stepped inside. The air in the house was thick, meaty, spiced. Not unpleasant, just heavy. The dining room table was set for 6, though only 4 sat around it, she said. Jack walked the perimeter. There were no fences, just cracked earth and dry weeds. But near the smokehouse, he found bones, small, white, and stacked in neat little piles. Some still had cloth scraps clinging to them. You don't have a face that belongs to the world. Not anymore. But didn't move. "Y'all sit," the woman said, guiding him to a chair. The food was already their stew that steamed, biscuits that cracked like bones, and slices of meat the color of rust. "Been in the family 3 generations, the old man said, tapping his fork on his plate. "But we can fill you up." Jack nodded politely. "Sallow's your name?" "It is now," the man said. They held supper again. 2 places. The woman and Jack. The girl giggled. After dinner, Jack offered to help with dishes. The woman declined. Said strangers shouldn't touch family things. "You can sleep in the barn," said the girl, suddenly at his side. "Plenty of hay. Cool air." Jack hesitated. "You'll find it kinder than the road," she added. He agreed. A barn smelled of old wood and drying herbs. Dust spiraled in the moonlight like lazy spirits. He dreamed of knives. In the morning, Jack found blood on his shirt. Not much, just a smear on the collar. He checked himself over no cuts, no bruises. At dusk, he saw the sign, again fresh paint this time. The farmhouse door was open. Inside, the table was set again, but only 3 places now. The old man was gone. So were the twins. He asked about the old man. She blinked. "You must be mistaken. There ain't no man here but you. But last night, you slept heavy." Jack left without breakfast. Something churned in his gut. The truck still wouldn't start. The girl watched him from the porch, her face unreadable. "You could stay. I'm just trying to get back on the road," Jack replied. She nodded. That afternoon, he didn't ask. That night, "You're thinning," she said, passing him a plate. "The road takes it out of you." He didn't eat. At dawn, he tried the truck one last time. It turned over. Dust flew behind the tires as he sped down the path back to the highway. But the sign was gone. And the gas station? Just a burned-out shell. Jack drove for hours, never seeing another soul. Until Sallow Farm Produce and Supper. To be continued in Part 2, The Family That Eats Alone.